4 toxic habits that can make people lose respect for you aren't just harmless quirks. They're behaviors that can seriously undermine your reputation and damage your relationships. You might be thinking, come on, everyone has bad habits, and you're right. But the habits we're discussing today are particularly harmful because they strike at the core of how we interact with others. They can turn a promising friendship or professional relationship sour in no time. To give this topic a personal touch, we're going to share some of our own experiences. Trust us, we have made plenty of mistakes along the way and have learned a lot from them. These stories are a bit raw and honest, but we believe sharing them will help us all grow. By recognizing and overcoming these habits, we can start living a life full of dignity and respect. We will draw on the teachings of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that offers timeless advice for living a virtuous and fulfilling life. Stoicism is about more than just enduring hardships with a stiff upper lip. It's about cultivating inner peace, integrity, and resilience. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive in. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Habit number 1, gossiping. Gossip, that ubiquitous social pastime, is a phenomenon deeply ingrained in human interaction despite the stigma attached to it. It's a habit that often starts innocently enough, perhaps with a casual remark or a shared tidbit of information, but can quickly escalate into something far more toxic and damaging. Reflecting on our own experiences, particularly during our college years, gossip seemed to permeate every aspect of social life, transforming idle chatter into a competitive sport of dissecting and analyzing the lives of others. At the time, it felt almost like a bonding ritual, a way to connect with peers over shared knowledge and insider gossip. Yet, beneath the surface lurked the insidious nature of gossip, a corrosive force capable of eroding trust, fracturing relationships, and inflicting irreparable harm. As we delve deeper into the world of gossip, the lines between harmless banter and malicious intent became increasingly blurred. What started as harmless curiosity soon morphed into a tangled web of half-truths and exaggerations, leaving a trail of broken trust and shattered reputations in its wake. We witnessed firsthand the devastating impact gossip could have on individuals' lives, as friendships crumbled, alliances fractured, and reputations tarnished beyond repair. It was a sobering realization, one that forced us to confront the harsh reality of our actions and the collateral damage they inflicted upon others. Our journey with gossip was fraught with painful lessons and hard-won insights. We learned, often through trial and error, the true cost of indulging in idle chatter and spreading rumors. It was a reckoning that demanded accountability and introspection, challenging us to reevaluate the way we engage with others and the words we choose to wield. We came to understand that gossip wasn't merely a harmless pastime, but a potent weapon capable of inflicting lasting harm on those in its crosshairs. In hindsight, our experience with gossip served as a powerful reminder of the importance of empathy, discretion, and integrity in our interactions with others. Instead of succumbing to the allure of gossip, we strive to cultivate relationships built on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. We recognize that true connection cannot be forged through the dissemination of rumors and innuendos, but rather through genuine communication and empathy. Let's get real about gossip. It's time to break free from its toxic grip and embrace a culture of kindness, compassion, and authenticity in our interactions with others. Here's a story we are not proud of. There was this girl in our group. Let's call her Emily. She was a bit different, quirky, introverted, didn't always fit in, One day, we found out she had a crush on a guy who was, let's say, way out of her league. Instead of keeping that information to ourselves, we shared it with our friends. We laughed about it, and the story spread like wildfire. It wasn't long before Emily found out what we'd been saying. The look on her face when she realized that her personal feelings had become a joke was heartbreaking. She stopped coming around and eventually left the group entirely. At the time, we brushed it off, but deep down, we knew we'd crossed a line. The Stoics, like Epictetus, teach us to focus on our own character and not meddle in the affairs of others. This wisdom is increasingly relevant in today's society, where gossip has become a pervasive part of everyday interactions, amplified by social media and instant communication. A 2019 study published in Social Psychological and Personality Science found that gossip makes up about 14% of our daily conversations, averaging around 52 minutes per day. This statistic underscores the extent to which gossip permeates our lives and highlights the challenge of adhering to Stoic principles in a world that often encourages the sharing of others' private matters. When you gossip, you're not only wasting time but also poisoning the well of trust. The act of gossiping can have severe repercussions on personal and professional relationships. According to a survey conducted by the University of Virginia, 90% of employees reported that workplace gossip has a negative impact on morale, and 76% indicated that it damages trust among colleagues. Gossip creates an environment of suspicion and betrayal, making it difficult for people to build and maintain genuine connections. This erosion of trust can lead to a toxic work culture, decreased productivity, and higher turnover rates, as employees may feel uncomfortable or unsafe sharing personal information or collaborating closely with others. Keep silence for the most part, and speak only when you must, and then briefly, said Epictetus, emphasizing the importance of measured and mindful communication. Research supports the idea that limiting gossip can foster a more positive social environment. A study from the University of California, Riverside, found that individuals who refrained from gossiping experienced lower levels of stress and anxiety. By choosing to focus on their own character and actions, rather than meddling in the lives of others, these individuals were able to cultivate a sense of inner peace and integrity. This approach not only benefits the individual, but also contributes to a more respectful and trustworthy community. Gossiping erodes trust. When you engage in gossip, people start to wonder what you say about them behind their backs. This behavior can have long-lasting effects on one's reputation and relationships. The American Psychological Association notes that the damage caused by gossip can be difficult to repair, as it often leads to a breakdown in communication and mutual respect. In personal relationships, gossip can create rifts that are hard to mend, leading to feelings of betrayal and resentment. In professional settings, it can hinder teamwork and collaboration, as colleagues may become wary of one another's intentions. Ultimately, the Stoic teachings of focusing on one's own character and maintaining discretion in speech are not only timeless but also crucial for fostering trust and respect in all areas of life. Another incident happened at our first job. We had a coworker, let's call him John, who was incredibly diligent but a bit of a loner. One day, we found out through the grapevine that John had a pretty serious health issue. Instead of respecting his privacy, we told a few colleagues, thinking it would make for an interesting conversation. John found out, of course. He confronted us, not angrily, but with a look of deep hurt and disappointment. He told us that he trusted us with that information, thinking we would be discreet. From that day on, our working relationship was never the same. We had lost his respect and trust, and it was entirely our fault. This experience taught us a critical lesson: respect other people's privacy. Everyone has their battles and vulnerabilities. By turning someone's personal life into fodder for gossip, you undermine trust and damage relationships. In conversation, you not only disrespect them, but also reveal a lack of integrity in yourself. The Stoics believed in uplifting and constructive conversations. Instead of gossiping, focus on positive dialogue that builds people up rather than tearing them down. Remember, if someone is willing to gossip to you, they're just as likely to gossip about you. Habit number 2, being unreliable. The topic of reliability is one that strikes a chord with many individuals, resonating deeply with our experiences in both personal and professional realms. It's a trait that serves as a cornerstone of trust within relationships, anchoring our interactions with a sense of predictability and dependability. Yet, when someone proves to be consistently unreliable, it can have profound implications, gradually eroding the respect and trust others hold for them. This erosion occurs not only because of the immediate consequences of their unreliability, but also due to the broader implications it has for the dynamics of the relationship. In personal relationships, whether among friends, family members, or romantic partners, reliability is fundamental to fostering a sense of security and mutual support. When we make plans with someone, we do so with the expectation that they will honor their commitment and show up as promised. However, when someone repeatedly fails to follow through on their word, it sends a clear message that their reliability cannot be counted on. This can lead to feelings of frustration, disappointment, and ultimately, a breakdown in trust. Over time, the cumulative effect of broken promises and unfulfilled expectations can strain even the strongest of bonds, leaving both parties feeling disillusioned and resentful. In the professional sphere, the consequences of unreliability can be equally detrimental, if not more so. In today's fast-paced and competitive work environments, businesses and organizations rely on employees who can be trusted to meet deadlines, fulfill their obligations, and uphold the standards of professionalism. When an individual fails to deliver on their commitments, it not only disrupts workflow and productivity, but also reflects poorly on the entire team. Colleagues and supervisors lose confidence in the unreliable individual's ability to contribute effectively, leading to strained working relationships and diminished opportunities for collaboration and advancement. Furthermore, the impact of unreliability extends beyond immediate consequences to affect one's reputation and prospects for future success. In a world where professional networks and word-of-mouth recommendations play a significant role in career advancement, being known as unreliable can be a significant impediment. Employers and colleagues alike are more likely to entrust important projects and opportunities to individuals who have proven themselves to be reliable and dependable over time. Conversely, those who develop a reputation for unreliability may find themselves marginalized, overlooked for promotions, or even excluded from future career opportunities altogether. In conclusion, the habit of being unreliable can have far-reaching consequences for both personal and professional relationships. It undermines the foundation of trust upon which healthy connections are built, leading to feelings of frustration, resentment, and disillusionment among those affected by it. Cultivating a reputation for reliability requires a commitment to honoring one's commitments, communicating effectively, and prioritizing the needs and expectations of others. By doing so, individuals can foster stronger, more meaningful connections and position themselves for success in all aspects of their lives. We have a personal story about this. In our early 20s, we were known among our friends as the flaky ones. We would make plans and then cancel at the last minute, or just not show up at all. We thought it was no big deal. Life is busy, right? But one incident really opened our eyes. A close friend of ours, Sarah, was throwing a birthday party. She had gone all out, planning for weeks, organizing every detail. We promised we would be there, but on the day of the party, we got caught up in something else and decided not to go. We didn't even bother to let her know until hours after the event had started. When we finally called her, we could hear the disappointment in her voice. She didn't say much, but we knew we had let her down. Our friendship was never quite the same after that. She stopped inviting us to things, and we drifted apart. Being unreliable tells people that your word means nothing. This sentiment echoes through various aspects of life, from personal relationships to professional environments. According to a survey by the American Psychological Association, 90% of people believe that trust is essential to a successful relationship, yet 42% have experienced a significant breach of trust due to unreliability. When someone frequently breaks promises or fails to meet commitments, it erodes the foundational trust necessary for any relationship to thrive. This erosion can lead to long-term consequences, such as strained friendships, broken family bonds, and diminished professional reputations. The ripple effect of being unreliable extends far beyond the immediate disappointment. It plants seeds of doubt and resentment that can grow over time, leading to a loss of respect and, ultimately, the dissolution of relationships. In the workplace, reliability is a cornerstone of professional success. A study by the Society for Human Resource Management, SHRM, found that 84% of employers view reliability as one of the most critical qualities in employees. When individuals consistently fail to deliver on their promises or meet deadlines, it not only affects their own career progression, but also the overall productivity and morale of the team. Projects get delayed, the quality of work suffers, and team members who must compensate for unreliable colleagues may experience increased stress and burnout. Moreover, repeated instances of unreliability can tarnish an individual's professional reputation, making it difficult to secure promotions, new job opportunities, or the trust of co-workers and superiors. In a competitive job market, where employers seek dependable and consistent performers, being unreliable can be a significant career impediment. Reliability is also a reflection of one's respect for others' time and effort. When you make a commitment, whether it's a social engagement or a professional task, others plan around that commitment. Breaking it without notice or a valid reason shows a disregard for the other person's schedule and the effort they've put into accommodating you. A study conducted by the University of Southern California found that people who are frequently late or fail to follow through on commitments are perceived as less competent and less respectful. This perception can have lasting effects on how others interact with you, leading to fewer social invitations, diminished collaboration opportunities, and a general sense of alienation. Respecting other people's time is not just about punctuality. It's about valuing their contributions and recognizing that your actions have a direct impact on their lives. Another incident happened in our professional life. Early in our career, we had a habit of over-committing and under-delivering. We would agree to take on projects and then miss deadlines, often without warning. We thought our charm and excuses would smooth things over, but our boss wasn't amused. During a performance review, she laid it out bluntly. Your work is good when you do it, but your lack of reliability is a problem. People don't know if they can count on you. It was a harsh wake-up call. Reliability isn't just about showing up. It's about consistency and integrity. When you commit to something, you're putting your reputation on the line. Every time you flake out, you chip away at the trust others have in you. So how do we fix this? First, be honest with yourself about what you can and can't do. Don't overcommit. If you make a promise, keep it. Communicate proactively. If something comes up and you can't follow through, show that you value other people's time as much as your own. By being reliable, you earn the respect and trust of those around you. It's a simple but powerful way to strengthen your relationships and build a solid reputation. In conclusion, being reliable is about more than just keeping your word. It's about maintaining the integrity and respect that underpins all successful interactions. The consequences of unreliability are far-reaching, affecting personal relationships, professional standing, and societal perceptions. Trust, once broken, is incredibly difficult to rebuild, and repeated instances of unreliability can lead to isolation and lost opportunities. By prioritizing reliability, you demonstrate respect for others and uphold the values that foster strong, trustworthy relationships. It's a commitment to consistency and integrity that pays dividends in all areas of life, reinforcing the bonds of trust and respect that are essential for personal and professional success. Habit number 3, interrupting others. This habit is controversial because it's so common, yet often unnoticed. Let's be real. Constantly interrupting others is a significant sign of disrespect. It implies that what we have to say is more important than what others are saying. This habit not only frustrates people, but also makes them feel undervalued and unheard. We used to be chronic interrupters. We thought it showed enthusiasm and intelligence, but in reality, it showed a lack of respect. Here's a personal story that drove this point home for us. In one of our early jobs, we were part of a team that had weekly brainstorming sessions. We were eager to impress, so we would constantly jump in with our ideas, often cutting people off mid-sentence. We thought we were being proactive, but our coworkers saw it differently. One day, during a particularly intense meeting, our manager stopped the discussion and addressed us directly. "You need to let people finish their thoughts," she said bluntly. "You're not listening. You're just waiting for your turn to speak." We were embarrassed, but it didn't end there. After the meeting, a colleague pulled us aside and said, "Do you even realize how dismissive you come across? It's like you think your ideas are the only ones that matter." That hit us hard. We didn't see ourselves as dismissive, but clearly, that's how we were perceived. Interrupting others is more than just rude. It shows a lack of self-control and respect. The Stoics valued listening and understanding over speaking. Seneca advises us to be patient and considerate. Interrupting others undermines the basic principles of communication, which are built on mutual respect, understanding, and the free exchange of ideas. Communication is a two-way street that requires both parties to listen and respond thoughtfully. When one person constantly interrupts, it disrupts this balance, leading to frustration and a breakdown in the dialogue. A study conducted by the University of California, Santa Barbara, found that interruptions can reduce comprehension and retention of information by up to 40%. This is because interruptions break the listener's train of thought, forcing them to reset their cognitive processes repeatedly. The constant mental rebooting not only makes the conversation less efficient, but also diminishes the overall quality of the interaction. Active listening is crucial for meaningful interactions because it ensures that all parties feel heard and understood. When you allow others to finish their thoughts, you demonstrate patience and respect, which are essential for building trust and rapport. According to research by the International Listening Association, people only retain about 25 to 50% of what they hear, and this retention rate can be significantly improved through active listening techniques, such as not interrupting. By fully engaging with what the other person is saying, you can provide more relevant and thoughtful responses, leading to a deeper and more productive conversation. This approach not only enhances mutual understanding but also fosters a sense of validation and appreciation, which are key components of healthy communication. Allowing others to finish their thoughts shows that you value their input and are willing to consider different perspectives. This openness is particularly important in diverse and collaborative environments, where multiple viewpoints can lead to more innovative and effective solutions. A study published in the Harvard Business Review highlighted that teams with inclusive leaders who encourage and respect diverse opinions are 17% more likely to report high performance and 29% more likely to behave collaboratively. By listening actively and refraining from interrupting, you create a space where everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas, leading to richer discussions and better decision-making processes. This inclusive approach not only enhances team dynamics, but also contributes to a more positive and productive organizational culture. Respecting others' voices fosters a collaborative and inclusive environment, which is beneficial in both personal relationships and professional settings. In personal relationships, active listening and refraining from interruptions can lead to stronger emotional connections and a deeper understanding of each other's needs and perspectives. According to a study by the Gottman Institute, couples who practice active listening are more likely to report higher levels of satisfaction and intimacy in their relationships. In professional settings, creating a culture of respect and inclusion can boost morale, increase employee engagement, and reduce turnover. A Gallup poll found that employees who feel their opinions are valued are 4.6 times more likely to feel empowered to perform their best work. By prioritizing active listening and minimizing interruptions, you contribute to a culture that values and respects all voices, ultimately leading to more harmonious and effective interactions across all areas of life. In summary, interrupting others is a habit that can severely undermine respect and trust in any relationship. It disrupts the flow of communication and makes others feel undervalued. By practicing active listening and allowing others to speak without interruption, you demonstrate respect, patience, and a willingness to understand different perspectives. This fosters stronger relationships, better teamwork, and a more inclusive and productive environment. Whether in personal or professional settings, the ability to listen without interrupting is a valuable skill that can enhance the quality of your interactions and strengthen your connections with others. Habit number 4, complaining. Complaining is a habit that's not just annoying. It's deeply corrosive. While venting occasionally is natural, constant complaining can turn you into a negative force that people want to avoid. This habit not only drains your energy, but also the energy of those around you, leading to lost respect and damaged relationships. We used to be chronic complainers. We thought it was a way to bond with people, to find common ground over shared grievances. But it didn't take long to realize how destructive this habit was. A few years ago, we worked at a job that we found incredibly frustrating. The workload was heavy, the management was disorganized, and we felt undervalued. Instead of looking for solutions or ways to improve the situation, we complained constantly to anyone who would listen. Our coworkers, friends, and even family all heard about our endless grievances. At first, people were sympathetic. They'd nod and agree, offering their own complaints as a form of solidarity. But as time went on, we noticed a shift. People started avoiding us. Conversations grew shorter, and we weren't invited to after-work hangouts as often. The final straw came when a close friend told us, "We love you, but you're becoming really negative. It's exhausting to be around you." The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. Complaining constantly keeps you fixated on the negative, which not only affects your mindset but also how others perceive you. It's a sign that you're more focused on problems than solutions, which is not an attractive quality. Another experience that drove this home was during a group project in college. One of our teammates, let's call him Mike, was a relentless complainer. Every meeting, he'd go on about how unfair the workload was, how incompetent the professor was, and how pointless the project seemed. His negativity was contagious, and soon the entire team's morale plummeted. We were all fed up and just wanted to get the project over with, rather than putting in our best effort. Seeing this from another perspective was eye-opening. It made us realize how our own complaining had likely affected those around us in similar ways. We decided to take a different approach. We started practicing gratitude and focusing on solutions instead of complaining about our job. We began identifying specific issues and looking for ways to address them. If we felt undervalued, we sought feedback on how we could improve and made a case for a raise. When management was disorganized, we took the initiative to streamline processes within our control. It wasn't easy and it didn't change overnight, but the results were significant. People noticed our shift in attitude, our relationships improved, and we started earning back the respect we had lost. We became someone people wanted to work with and be around, rather than someone they avoided. Breaking the habit of complaining requires a shift in mindset. Instead of dwelling on problems, focus on solutions. Take proactive steps to address issues within your control and accept those you cannot change. Practice gratitude and cultivate a positive outlook on life. By adopting this approach, you not only improve your own well-being but also enhance your relationships and earn the respect of those around you. Remember, complaining is like a toxic cloud that repels people. Positivity, on the other hand, attracts them like a magnet. Choose wisely, and you'll find yourself surrounded by a supportive network of friends, colleagues, and loved ones who value your presence and perspective. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who could use a little boost. Let's all aim to be better versions of ourselves, living with more respect and understanding for one another. Embracing the principles of Stoicism can really help us navigate life's ups and downs with more grace and integrity. Until next time, stay strong, stay true to yourself, and keep striving for greatness.